It's 6 months to Victober, and you know what that means. It's time for Gaskell in April. GaskApril, maybe? That's that's a name that's been bandied around. So, what is GaskApril? Well, it's a new event I'm hosting on my channel, all about Elizabeth Gaskell in the month of April. And I picked April because it's still about 6 months away till Victober, and I thought this would make a great time of the year to focus on one of my favorite Victorian writers, since for Victober I tend to focus a lot on Charles Dickens. I thought this would be a great way to introduce to you one of my favorite authors, and I know many of you are fans of Elizabeth Gaskell as well, and I thought this would be a great time to explore some of her work. So this video will be a quick reminder and a preview of what I'll be doing in April. I'll invite you all to read along with me and participate however you feel led to participate. At the very least, I'll have a lot of videos, hopefully, that will be around and about Elizabeth Gaskell. The first thing I'll be doing to kick off, and it'll be kind of the main event, if you will, is that I'll be hosting a read-along of North and South, my first and so far my favorite Elizabeth Gaskell novel. What I'm looking forward to is rereading it with a group of you to get a deeper insight into it. I read it for the first time a couple years ago now, and I really enjoyed it. But I'm finding that when I reread especially Victorian novels, I get deeper, more insightful understanding of the story. And then reading it with all you geniuses out there who think of things about stories that I never even crossed my mind, it usually ends up being a wonderful reading experience. So I would love for you to be able to participate with me as we read this classic novel. I'll have a schedule posted on my websites and social media accounts here soon. If you've read it just recently, I know a couple of you have, but if you've read it just recently and don't want to reread it again, or you have plans to reread it later this year, that's fine. I would still love to get your insight. I'll be posting weekly update videos on the reread, and would love to have your conversation there, even if you're not reading along with us. I did something similar with Great Expectations last year, and it still remains one of my favorite series of videos just because of the interaction I got in the comments from many of you. It really helped to deepen my understanding and appreciation of that wonderful novel. I'll also be reading one of her short stories, though I'm not sure which one yet. She has several that are absolutely wonderful. And that will come out later in the month in April, probably for my Victorian Shorts video, which I will be doing again. But I'll probably have some kind of video talking about her short stories, especially The Gray Woman, although that might be more of a novella. But I read that on my podcast last year, I think, or maybe even a year and a half or so ago. I'll leave the links in the show notes. But that's a fantastic story. And then I'll be reading a biography of Gaskell, and I'm not sure which one I'll read. I might read A Habit of Stories, which I've read before, but it's been a few years, and I don't know if I can't remember if I actually finished it or I temporarily set it aside because I just didn't have the time to read it. It's quite a hefty biography, but I remember enjoying it. But I think part of the problem was I hadn't read a lot of her stories yet, and I was kind of worried about spoilers in biographies, which happens sometimes. Or another biography I might read is called Elizabeth Gaskell. It's produced by Oxford Paperbacks, and it was written by Winifred Guerin, which is one I just ordered a used copy online about a week ago, so that should be here in time. I might read that one, and I'll probably have a video or two posting my thoughts on her biography. And then to top it all off, the thing I'm most excited about, because I didn't know if this was going to happen, but I found a copy of the book, the Letters of Mrs. Gaskell. It's a compilation of all of her letters, or most of her letters, in one volume, and I finally found it on Amazon for only $7, which included shipping. I had been keeping my eye out to get it because I really wanted it. Most of the versions I was able to find online were selling for like $40 or $50, and that's just a little bit too much Well, that's definitely too much for me. So keeping an eye on things on Amazon and different websites. Someone posted one on Amazon for only $7, and boy, I snapped it up very quickly. It was a little bit beat up, but it wasn't. I didn't think it was in as bad condition as the description made it sound. So that was really neat. It wasn't even an old library copy. You know, it looks like it's been well read and well loved, and I love it. So I'm so excited about that, and I'll be reading some of her letters throughout the month. I probably won't try to get through the whole book. It's quite thick, but that strikes me as a book I can kind of dip in and out of throughout the month when I just want to bask in the genius that is Elizabeth Gaskell. If I find anything noteworthy in there or fun to share with you, I'll probably post a video or a short or something just reading some of her letters that I think you might enjoy. Basically, what I'm saying is make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of the fun of Gaskell and April. Now, I'm also inviting you to participate with me. There's a few ways you can do that. First of all, I'm working on a book tag for the month. I'm not ready to share it yet or even what it's about, but keep an eye out for that. I love book tags, and I think some kind of Elizabeth Gaskell adjacent book tag might be fun to discuss throughout the month. And then, of course, I would love for you to participate in the group read with me as we read through North and South. Would love to have your discussion in comments about that book. And so each video that discusses that week's chapter will be where we'll carry on the conversation there. I feel like that's going to be easier right now. I'm not good at keeping up on Discord channels, and for whatever reason, that just seems to be working best for me, just to leave the comments on the video. So we'll go ahead and plan to do it that way. And then another way you can participate is to, of course, read some of her short stories, read anything that she's written, read a biography like I'm doing, read some of her letters, you know, and let me know what you're reading. And if you find any treasures or any clever thoughts that she writes or any good stories that I might not have read yet, I haven't read everything by her yet. So do be careful of spoilers. That's what I have planned for April, and I'll probably be using the hashtag either Gaskell in April or GaskApril. I'll probably go with GaskApril because that's the more I think about it, the more fun I'm having saying that. Those are my plans for April. I really hope that you will be able to participate with me on some level. At the very least, I look forward to reading your comments and thoughts on the books and things I share. Think of it as Christmas in July for Victober, okay? All right, that's kind of where I think this is heading. So that'll be it for today. Just a quick update, which probably is about 10 to 20 minutes long now. So until next time, stay proper and read good books. Take care.